What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is March 19th, and we are back with another video brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. 5-game slate. You know what that means. In the description of this video will be today's article. We break it down. We have the plays that we like at each position, 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value, with some of our projections, and the DVP to help you color coordinate, to help you look at it, to find you some of the plays that you like. So that is it. That will be in the description of the video. Normally, any day that's in by like noon that day, but it'll hopefully be a little bit earlier this time. Also in there, DFS Hero. So you know we have partnered up with DFS Hero. In the description of this video is the link to sign up for DFS Hero. So if you deposit or you sign up for the first time using our promo code, they are going to give you 15% off this first month, and we are going to give you a free month on top of DFS Hero month subscription. If you sign up using our link for a full year from them, we are also going to give you a year free, which is normally worth $199. So it is a great deal. They have a fantastic optimizer. Use their optimizer. Use the information we give you. Plug and play with it. It's been doing really well. You can ask people. We absolutely killed it with NASCAR using our advice and using their optimizer. Just another way to do it. If you don't want to go with them and you just want to go with us, go FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus. Using FTA Plus, if you use the promo code MLB VIP for the yearly pass, normally $199, you can get it for $75. There are 2 coupon codes left. Once those are gone, those are gone. So it is FTA Plus. It is right here. FTA, sign up for FTA Plus. So that being said, you guys know the drill. We're trying to have giveaways every single day. Every day we try to have giveaways. With that, we try to give you guys as much information as we possibly can each and every single day. And that's what we've done. The giveaways, 2 ways to win. The first way, super easy, super simple. Like this video. Be a subscriber and leave a comment. You have to leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. 50 likes on this video, someone will win a free week of DFS content. 100 likes, someone will win a free month. 125 likes, someone will win a free year. And if we ever get 150 or more likes, someone will win a $500 lifetime pass. On top of that, the second way to do it, and if there is a winner from the highest score, it'll be in the description, or we'll pin this comment from yesterday. But like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points on this slate, and how many DraftKings fantasy points. If you get it closer without going over it, you will win a free week of content. If you get it exactly correct, we have not had someone get it exactly correct yet. We had someone 0.25 off. If you get it exactly correct, you will win a free year. Yes, a free year of FTA Plus. So that being said, a lot of ways to go. So if you like the video, you got to leave a comment to get in there, guys. And what it is it's 50 likes on a video by the time the slate locks at 6 p.m. or whatever time it is. So that's the normal thing. We'll see. If we get to 50, we'll have another giveaway as well. So that being said, we do have 5 games on the slate. What we're going to do is we're going to do the normal thing. We're going to go through each game. We're going to look at the plays that make sense. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. If you have been here before, you know the drill. So we're very excited because we do this with baseball, and baseball starts a week from this Thursday. We're very excited. Also, in the description of this video is going to be a March Madness bracket. I'm going to do it on ESPN. I'm going to put a password. The password is FTA FTW. So FTA FTW, Fantasy Team Advisors, for the win. Fill out brackets. It's going to be completely free. And the winner is going to get, we're going to do this. We're going to do top 2. The top 2 overall, the winner will get a free year of DFS content. If I'm the winner, then it's me. The second place will get a free month of content. So that being said, it's going to be completely free. The link will be in the description of this video, and I think I'm going to make a subsequent video outlining that I made this so we can all enjoy it. So the more in there, the better fun we have on top of that. So that being said, we have 5 games. We are kind of looking at some of the odds that the odds are current. The opening odds: Houston versus Washington, 228.5 over under. Charlotte versus Orlando, 205. It's a very low over under right now. New Orleans, Brooklyn, 218. Dallas, San Antonio, 236.5. I think it's going to be a great scoring game. And then Denver versus Minnesota, 214 there. And then if we go look at the spread in these games, we've got Houston against Washington as of the making of this video. So depending on when you watch this video, it could change. It will change. But as of now, Houston is a 7.5 point favorite over Washington. Orlando is a 12.5 point favorite over Charlotte. New Orleans is a 5.5 point favorite over Brooklyn. Dallas is a 4.5 point favorite over San Antonio. But with that over under, absolutely we got to get in some Wemby here. Luka obviously makes sense. And then Denver versus Minnesota, as of now, 2.5 over. Denver is a 2.5 point favorite, so it could be a close but high scoring game that we need to take advantage of. So these are just some of the games. So we go into this, and it depends. I've tried back and forth. I've tried top plays at each position. I've tried tournament plays, but I really haven't gotten any feedback from you guys. So I don't know what you're actually looking for in these videos, but hopefully it's informative enough to at least get a follow or a subscriber. I would love to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the All-Star break of MLB, so July. I think we could kill it before then, though. But that being said, let's take a look at the first game on the slate. Houston versus Washington. We see Kuzma's questionable. He didn't play the other day. Let's see. Yeah, there was a lot of people. So this is another thing. So we could have Denny in here, and we wanted to use him to that game, but he was out. Questionable in this one. If he sits, I mean, there's a lot of questionable tags for Washington. Corey Kispert would jump in again. Koulibaly. So he was out again. He was ruled out with a wrist. So there could be potential opening up of a lot of value for Washington. You got to wait for the news to come out. But you guys know Van Fleet. You would look at Jalen Green. You would look at Jabari Smith. But you guys need those other ones. So we used is this Justin? Justin, yes. So we used him the other day. He was 3,100, and he got 29 fantasy points. They have bumped him up in price to 4,200, but we could still take advantage of this, especially if the other guys are all out. So he is in a good spot. Patrick Baldwin Jr. In a good spot, was 3,600, so now it's 4,000. These are ones that we could be looking at. Jared Butler came in 19.25 at 3,800. He's now dropped down. We have to wait, but there could be a ton of value in this game for Washington on that side. And then we got Eugene here. We used him the other day. We didn't use him, but he was one of my picks for the 7 times value. He got 5 fantasy points, played 15 minutes because he got hurt, tweaked his ankle late. So just kind of wait to see the news. But yeah, Van Vliet would obviously make a ton of sense. Washington gives up a ton of fantasy points. You're going to see that because at the end of this video, we're going to build a lineup using one of our tools, the NBA points allowed by position tool. So the big names, we all know the big names for Houston. They make sense because Washington's bad. I want to look at the Washington side of the ball because a lot of them, there could be a ton of value to open up, and we just kind of got to wait for it. Orlando versus Charlotte. Orlando, again, Ball is questionable. He's missed 25 games. I don't see why they would bring him back. He is probably out. No news yet. Miles Bridges makes sense. Charlotte should be playing from behind, or at least they think they will be, so we could take advantage of a Nick Richards, Mann, Miller, all these guys. Orlando, we want to look. So Jalen Suggs at 5,200. He's been pretty serviceable. 29.25 2 games ago. He's 5,200, so he's dropped down a little bit. We could be looking at him. Cole Anthony, we could be looking at. Jonathan Isaac, he is questionable. Hold on. Jonathan Isaac isn't listed on Orlando's injury report, so he should be good, but he still has the tag right now. But yeah, he's getting 20 plus here. He's 4,100. His price has gone up a little bit, but I'm okay with him. You want value on the Charlotte side, Davis Bertans a little bit. Mo Wagner for Orlando. The minutes have not been there. He's coming off a good game against Toronto. Tournament-wise, at 3,700, we're allowed to do that. So cash games, you're looking basically take whatever player pool you want, get your player pool in there, build a lineup, take those their salaries, multiply it by 7.5, and that's basically your target projection on the low end for cash. So you're looking about 7.5 times value for cash. For tournaments, you're looking for 8.5, 9 times value. You're not going to get them from every player, especially if you pay up for like Luka today. It's going to be very hard. But if you get a Mo Wagner at 3,700 and he goes off for 10 times value, he gets 37 fantasy points. I'm not saying he will, but he could. You have a Jonathan Isaac who gets 9 times value, paying 4,100 for him. You're able to pay up at the other positions. The value we're looking at is, maybe a little Markelle Fultz. The minutes just haven't been there for him. And I don't see this game being a huge blowout where they would be. You could look at Goga here. Yeah, the minutes haven't been there for him. So that's probably where we're at. We're looking at Mo Wagner at the very lowest and up out of here. But again, you want to pay for Paolo. You want to pay for Miles Bridges, Franz Wagner, Miller. Like, you know what you're getting out of those guys. We are here to build some value plays here too. New Orleans versus Brooklyn, Zion being at the top there. Again, do not look at these numbers on the OPRK. They are wrong. People, if you're building in your casual and people think, I'll just use that, that's good for DVP. That is not it. In the article, in the description, will be the DVP, will be color coordinated, and hopefully helps you. Hopefully will help you. So, that being said, Zion, I like Zion, Brandon Ingram, Cam Thomas, all these guys up top make sense. But we need to find some of those value plays. Larry Nance Jr., we look at him, played 28 minutes his last game, only 21.5 fantasy points, so did not come through a ton, but some of these plays might make sense once we see some of the value. Jose Alvarado, I know people were all over him the other day, 18.25 at 3,700, not the best, but at 3,600, if you want to punt a couple of plays and maybe he goes off, we can afford some other higher-end options there. Robinson Earl, I know people... he did 23.25, only 3,400. If he gets the run, J. Robinson Earl I wouldn't mind. Tournament-wise, at 3,400, you can't go wrong with him. Jacob Gilyard was... it's crazy the way, like, how he was doing this season, and then Memphis let him go, and now he's with the Nets. Probably doesn't play, so that's something to look at. But yeah, I'd probably go Robinson Earl and up here. Hawkins makes sense. Alvarado, these are all very cheap options. You got to find some of this value when you want to play Wemby or Luka, or if we can even play both. So Luka being 12,500. Just for instance, 12,500 times 7.5. Hold on. 93.75. He can get that. He can get that. The chances are not the best, but he has it. He could get that. Wemby's been killing it for us. 10,600. If you don't want to pay it for Luka, I'm not saying Wemby's going to get that many points because he probably won't, but he's in store for a game there. Daniel Gafford at 5,400. San Antonio gives up, I want to say, the most amount to opposing centers, and we're going to look at that. So Daniel Gafford as a $5,400 value center, I'm okay with that one as well. You could, on the flip side, you could look at a little bit of Zach Collins. And we've talked about Malachi Branham multiple times. When Wemby is in, I don't trust him enough. I have not used him in a while. Since Wemby's been back, I have not used him. And if you look at it, the minutes are fluctuating. He did not... Did he play 56? Is that real? That can't be real. Hold on. On Sunday, he played 54... No way. Wait, did it go... Did he really play? Who am I looking? Branham? Malachi? Played 15 minutes. DraftKings is drunk. I was going to say, there's no way. There's not even 6 minutes there. Anyway, yeah, this is wrong. So yeah, just kind of looking at this, I'm probably off of Branham anytime Wemby is in that lineup. Derek Jones Jr. you could look at a little bit for a value, 3,800. There's a lot of value that are in good spots today. Maxi Kleber, I don't know about the minutes though. The minutes have been 21. He has not done anything with the minutes. This could be one of those games where he does $3,500 play. If you make multiple tournament lineups, I'm okay with that. But yeah, you already know that you can do Luka, you can do Wemby, Kyrie, Vassell, Sokin. We know all of these. And then the final game, Denver versus Minnesota. Anthony Edwards been killing it. I love Anthony Edwards. Obviously, Jokic has been absolutely murdering it. With Karl Anthony Towns out, Naz Reid. I love Naz Reid. But again, this is the second game of a back-to-back for some of these teams, specifically like Edwards, specifically Naz Reid, Minnesota. This is where we need to kind of see the trends that they've been doing when it has been a back-to-back. So with like Anthony Edwards on a back-to-back, 65 this day, 31 the next day. Had 2 days rest, 51. Had 2 days rest, 55. We see 42.25 on day one against the Clippers. The next day, 28.5 against Portland. 57.75 one day. The next day, 43.5. So the trend has been the minutes are basically there. His performance has not been there when it's the second game of back-to-back. And I'm sure this is somewhere out there, there's probably stats on who's really good on back-to-backs and stuff. I don't have that information. But if anyone knows that information exists or knows where it exists, let your boy know. That would be probably pretty easy stuff to incorporate. Also, on top of that, we then look at you look at the low over-unders, then you look at like the second game of back-to-backs. That kind of could help you out, build out your player pool. So just one of our tools. So if you go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com under NBA tab, we got Vegas odds, we got our sports bets, we got our simulations, we got our player trends. Check all of this information out. It is in this right on the website. You can check it out. Some is FTA plus, some is free, but we are here to make you a better DFS player. So what we're going to do is we're going to use one of our tools, the NBA points allowed by position tool, to build a lineup, a tournament lineup. And always feel free to change it how you want. So if you just come through, we see that the San Antonio Spurs and the Phoenix Suns are tied dead last, giving up an average of 54.7 fantasy points to the opposing point guard. Now, Phoenix isn't playing, San Antonio is playing. So they give up the most amount to the point guard. So we look at the point guard. We look at, that's Dallas. So Luka is in a smash spot. He's got the best overall matchup against point guards. They really can't stop him. He's going to be the most expensive. He's going to be the highest priced guy. He probably scores the most amount of fantasy points. So I'm going to put him in there. Now, putting 12,500 right off the rip, we've got to find that value. That's why we talked about value. So I'm looking at this for the very first time. So I look at this exactly when you look at this. So if I look surprised that it was Luka, that's because I was surprised it was Luka. So that brings us to like shooting guard. Wizards, Utah, Atlanta, Dallas. Okay. Dallas gives up an average of 46.3. That's San Antonio. Well, wait a minute. No, the Wizards are playing. So Washington is playing. That's Houston shooting guard. So we can go Houston and then San Antonio if you want to look at this. So Jalen Green at 8,100. Devin Vassell at 7,300 would be the two. Malachi Branham, I don't trust him. There's another brother. Is it Jared? Julian Champagne. That's obviously not his name, but 16 minutes in the last game, 0.75 fantasy points is a wild concept. That is impressive. I would never use him to save my life. But yeah, if you're looking at these two and you don't want to pay up, I completely understand. It's going to be hard in this lineup to pay up at all these positions if we got Luka there. So let's go down the list just to see after Washington, after Dallas, Lakers, Portland, San Antonio. So San Antonio, so Dallas shooting guard. We can't really afford Irving. Dante Exum, the minutes, can't really do that. Hardaway can't particularly do that. The minutes have not been there for him either. So we will move on. We will persevere. Now, you don't have to use this for every single position, but I just wanted to bring that. You've got to find some value today. Let's go down the list just to see after Washington, after Dallas, Lakers, Portland, San Antonio. So Dallas shooting guard. We can't really afford Irving. Dante Exum, the minutes, can't particularly do that. The minutes have not been there for him either. So we will move on. We will persevere. Now, you don't have to use this for every single position, but I just wanted to bring that. You've got to find some value today. Milwaukee, Memphis, Detroit, Sacramento, Golden State. None of those. Toronto, Indiana, Charlotte. Toronto, Indiana. We got Charlotte. It's Orlando. Shooting guard. We already talked about this. Cole Anthony. The minutes have been there for him. Hasn't come through. But we're building a tournament lineup. You got to get to differentiate yourself from that crowd is hopefully what will help you become a better DFS player. And that's what we're here for. So questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. We look at the small forward. We see that the Wizards give up an average of 50.3. We see Utah 50. So Wizards give up an average of 50.3. We go back to the well. That's Houston. Small forward, Amen Thompson. Jason Tate really fell off. Like, he used to get some more minutes. So Amen Thompson here. Hasn't been too bad. He is 5,900 now, but he's got a good matchup against Washington. If we do that, now we average 5,400. So we have to find those value plays, and we will. And I'll show you what we're talking about. So we look at power forward. Utah gives up the most. Chicago, Toronto, Atlanta, Charlotte. So Orlando would be another one. Bonchero, going to be hard to pay up at 9,000. Mo Wagner, again, as I mentioned, probably going to be kind of hard for him being at that price. But Jonathan Isaac, we did talk about. Jonathan Isaac at 4,100 still allows us about 5,800 for all the rest of the way. But I'm going to show you, because once we get to center, I think we're going to find some value. So we look at this. Washington gives up an average of 60.7, and San Antonio gives up an average of 60.3. So Washington versus San Antonio. So we're looking at Dallas versus Houston for center. Daniel Gafford is in prime real estate there. PJ Washington also could be. So if we look at this, Gafford has played 24 minutes, 26, 26, 19, 41.7. Okay. PJ Washington, the minutes, more minutes, but less outage here. Let's see. He started in 12 consecutive games for Dallas, so he appears locked in starting role. So we kind of look at this. We've got, if I want to save some money, and see, this is what I'm talking about. You see how Gafford's at 29th and then PJ Washington is 20th? So people would be like, Gafford. Washington, it could be in store for a good game for him there. He could be pretty good there. Houston-wise, we could look at Landale at 4,400. Game logs, they've been okay. The minutes have fluctuated more than I would enjoy. 11 points, yeah. I'm probably going to go PJ Washington. Again, it's a tournament lineup. You got to get crazy. So now we have 3 spots left, a guard, a forward, and a utility spot with an average of 6,033 left. So let's just take a look. Right around there, we can find value, though. It can open up. So come through here. Kind of hoping that the guys for Washington are thinking about just being out. $4,200 at small forward. So $4,200, I don't mind him. Is it going to go forward or utility? Okay, so now we have $6,900 for a guard and $6,900 for a utility spot, which is perfect. So we can look at a Terrence Mann or Trey Mann. We could look at a Mike Conley. We could look at a Jalen Suggs. If you go all the way down to Jalen Suggs in a good matchup there at 5,200. Now we're at 8,700. We can get Zion there. We can get Fred VanVleet there for tournament. Fred VanVleet against Washington. I want to see what he's done. Put up 47.25 against them 2 games ago. I think I'm going to go FVV here with Fred VanVleet. You do have Zion, game log wise, 8,700 minutes have been there, fantasy points have been there. So let's see, what is Brooklyn against the power forward? Against power forward, Brooklyn they're good. They're giving up an average of, well, they'd still give up an average of 52.8, which would be 8,700 times 7.5. Oh, yeah, no. I'm probably off Zion for his price. I would rather go with Fred VanVleet here with a little bit better matchup. Washington gives up an average of 60.7 at his price. I will look at Fred VanVleet. So there you go. That's one way to build a lineup, not the only way to build a lineup. Check it out. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. Enter this lineup if you want. Mix and match a little bit if you want. We've got a lot of tools on the site. We cover a lot of things. We do sports betting as well. $24.99 for a month. That includes sports betting and DFS. That is a month of NASCAR, a month, if you did it today, a month of NBA, a month of PGA, and 3 weeks of MLB once it starts a week from Thursday. So again, in the description, everything you need. Check it out. We've got we're going to have the March Madness bracket. The winners will get free content. So that's what I've got. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.